hello, our good friends, wherever it is that you and whatever you might be listening on. That's right, this voice sounds very familiar. Ooh, what time is it? It is time for
Two Guys Talking NFL. I'm Pat Galliano, also known as
Pro G.
And
I am John Lesaine, also known as
Smooth Dr. J, my co-host. So happy to be here with you today.
Absolutely, Pat. Week 3.
Week 3 in the NFL is in the books.
Oh, man.
And boy, we got a show lined up for you today. Of course, we'll have John's Going Lesaine coming up in a little while. We'll look at the top 10 in Pat's poll. And by the way, if you wish to see the whole Pat's poll, just go to our page on Facebook called Two Guys Talking NFL. What else are we doing in the show today? Oh, our feature. Tell them about what our feature is.
Oh, our feature, we're going to take a look at what Pat and I deem to be our top 5 NFL stadiums. It's going to be a good one.
Yes, and we'll preview week 4 with some great games coming up next week. So let's start with a review of some of the best games of last week. So, John, Sunday was a block party.
Yes, it was.
I mean, there were a lot of blocks, which we might hear a little more about another time. But
just might.
Okay, so the games this week fell into 4 different categories as I watched them. We had our fantastic finishes, things like Cleveland over Green Bay at the last minute and Philly over the Rams. All of these games. Tampa Bay won in the last minute again. The Chargers in San Francisco over Arizona in the last second field goal.
Yes.
And then you had some surprising scores.
Absolutely.
Minnesota bulldozing Cincinnati 48-10. Carolina shutting out the Falcons.
Go Panthers,
the Falcons never crossed the 30-yard line.
Yeah, wow.
They never got closer to the end zone. Yes, and Indiana continues to roll. Buffalo beat Miami. You had a few good games, including the Monday Nighter last night.
That was a great game.
And finally, you had some yawners. So we really won't talk much about the yawners. They were blowouts and not very exciting to watch. So let's talk about some of these fantastic games first of all. The Cleveland Browns subduing the Packers 13-10 on Andre Schmidt's 55-yard field goal as time expired. What do you think about this game?
I think Green Bay imploded on themselves. Like that was a game they honestly should have won. And it was interesting because Matt LaFleur came out and said that he was sick and tired of the undefeated talk. So now that the Packers are not going to be undefeated this year, I think they might get to playing some more good football.
I think you're right. It was a case of maybe taking their opponent a little lightly.
Absolutely.
Cleveland has an outstanding defense.
They
and
do.
LaFleur talked about that after the game, too.
They do.
They do. And now this loss hurts the Packers, of course, because it's a loss, but it's a non-conference loss.
Correct.
So they're still in first place in their division.
Correct.
And everything in front of them that they want to get. They're undefeated in the NFC. The Eagles blocked the Rams 33-26. Jordan Davis blocking a field goal and returning it for a touchdown to win the game for the Eagles.
What an amazing game. And the Eagles looked like they were dead in the water. And,
yes.
And then they just woke up
and started playing. They were down 26-7.
Yes.
And somehow found all these points. And, of course, it was 27-26. And then they blocked another field goal.
Yes.
What an unbelievable game that was. Very nicely done by the Eagles, who are 3-0.
Yes.
Rams dropped to 2-1. The Buccaneers kicked over the Jets. Oh, this game now featured one of the best scenes in all of football with our coach Aaron Glenn running down the sidelines after Will McDonough blocked a field goal and returned it for a touchdown. So the Jets had the lead with just under 2 minutes remaining, but Baker Mayfield got the ball, and what happened? Down the field for a touchdown.
And it was very interesting that Baker Mayfield just kind of took a little bit of a parting shot at Steve Wilks, who was the defensive coordinator for the Jets, who was the head coach at Carolina when he was there. And so he's like, yeah, so that was interesting.
It was personal.
Very personal.
And I misspoke. They did not go down the field for a touchdown. They drove down the field 7 plays, 48 yards for a Chase McLaughlin 36-yard field goal to win the game with 0. Third game in a row, the Bucs have won in the last minute.
I guess it's better to be lucky rather than good.
Or both. Both. You know what they say. The good teams find ways to win.
Absolutely. And Tampa has done that.
And the Jets find ways to lose.
They have done that.
They're very good at that.
They are very good at that.
But no one's as good as Aaron. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Chargers boot the Broncos 23-20. This is Denver's second loss in a row on a last-second field goal.
What's Sean Payton going to do?
He's going to have to find a way to not let them get in field goal range. But field goal range is the 50-yard line now for some teams.
Oh, it absolutely
kicking 65, 60. Yes.
Yes.
Cameron Dicker, the Chargers kicker, with a 43-yard field goal. as time expired. And of course, another game that ended with time expiring, the 49ers over the Cardinals. Eddie Pinheiro, who replaced Jake Moody after week 1.
Yes.
They fired him after week 1. The Niners did. They cut him from the team when he missed some field goals and extra points. And Pinheiro kicks the game-winning field goal with no time left. 49ers win this game 16-15.
You know, I have to give credit to Mac Jones because, of course, Brock Purdy is knocked out. He's injured. Mac Jones got banged up in that game also, and he still gritted it out, led that team to a win. It wasn't the prettiest win, but the Niners get another NFC West win.
They did. And so a few other games. Monday Night Football. Detroit goes into Baltimore and manhandles the previously tough Ravens. The Ravens are 1-2.
Absolutely.
They're going to be okay, but still 2 losses in their first 3 games.
And uncharacteristic of play, especially by Derrick Henry with the fumbles that he's had. And I have a lot of respect for him because he has indeed, he took accountability and responsibility for that.
Well, he does. I mean, they have to, but to me, we were all writing Detroit off with their new coordinator.
Absolutely.
The first game wasn't good, but the last 2 games, they have been on it offensively and defensively.
Absolutely.
And there's something to be said for what Dan Campbell can do as a head coach, building that culture there, leading those men, biting those kneecaps off, and they're making it happen again in Detroit. So that NFC Central is not awarded to Green Bay yet, although, as I mentioned earlier, Detroit has a loss.
Agreed.
In their division.
That'll be good.
Green Bay has a loss in the other conference. So those are some of the great games. We had Jacksonville over Houston. Jacksonville's 2-1.
Surprising.
The Colts are 3-0 with a 41-20 win over Tennessee.
Very surprising.
Daniel Jones doing things they're going to say Johnny Unitas who? They're going to say Peyton who?
Yeah, I know, right?
They're calling him Indiana Jones now. Indiana Jones. Daniel Indiana Jones. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. We hear the music every time he starts playing. And Kansas City finally got a first win of the year against the hapless New York Giants, who are moving to Jackson Dart this week, I just read.
Wow.
We're going to have Russell Wilson out. So these are some of the games from last week. And when we come back, on the flip side, the highly anticipated John's Going Lesaine
and Pat's poll, the definitive rankings of NFL teams, week 3, coming up after this break.
There's some Welcome back to Two Guys Talking NFL. I'm Pat.
And I'm John.
And we do just what our name implies. We talk NFL football. And sometimes other topics related to football. And maybe we might even put something there that doesn't. That's just interesting to talk about. But right now, John has his time for his weekly feature, John's Going Lesaine. What do you have for us today, John?
Oh, if you folks can only see this devilish smile that I have on my face.
I see.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for this week's edition of John's Going Lesaine, I know the past couple of weeks I covered some pretty tough and heavy stuff, but this week's rant is a very good rant. I am going Lesaine because this past week was some of the best games that I've ever seen in watching the NFL and all of the years that I have watched NFL games. Now, so I actually have YouTube TV. And with having YouTube TV, I got the NFL Red Zone. And so it's able to bounce back the games back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so I'm telling you right now, Pat, oh my gosh, when we talk about the block party that you mentioned early on and special teams plays that were made, oh my God, I have to go Lesaine about those. Let's talk about our good friend Jordan Davis. Big man rumbling, 61 yards after he got the block. Then he recovers it, and then he runs all the way back. I know he needed a little bit of oxygen after he got to the end zone, but the Eagles got the win 33-26. Oh, my God, what an amazing play. Now, also, you kind of also mentioned this as well. And it was interesting how they almost happened kind of simultaneously or back-to-back. Mm-hmm. But with the block for the Jets and how they took the lead with Will McDonald also making a block and then also recovering and rumbling 50 yards. And And then his head coach, Aaron Glenn, is running down the sideline, just dancing and all that type of stuff, and then the Jets still lose. But that's besides the point. Absolutely great plays. What great ways to end games. Now, I also have to say, as a part of this rant, I just can't just talk about the special teams. I also have to talk about a guy by the name of Isaiah Rodgers. He plays for the Minnesota Vikings, and he did something very, very, very amazing in the first half of their game against the Cincinnati Bengals. He had not one but 2 interception returns for touchdowns, and then he recovered a fumble and returned that one also for a touchdown. Oh my God, it was amazing, y'all. Lesaine, John is going Lesaine for good NFL football. Let's see if week 4 will be able to top that. I don't think so, but Pat, what do you have to say?
Wow, I have to say. I was screaming at the TV with some of these blocks. I said, no way! Because it's just, some things happen.
Yes.
In fact, one of the announcers, when they were watching the Philadelphia game, and then the color commentator on the sideline had to correct it, said, this just doesn't happen. A player blocks the kick and runs it back for a touchdown on the same play. And she goes, well, it just happened in this game, too. It was very fun to watch that. It was great. Yeah, no, there was some really good games, those fantastic finishes we talked about, and really good football. Now we're a few weeks in.
Yes.
The bugs are worked out. Preseason, a lot of the regulars don't play. You never know what's going to happen in the first couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah. Oh, and one of the interesting scenarios that has happened now is that I heard just today that the New York Giants will be replacing Russell Wilson with Jackson Dart on Sunday.
Well,
just breaking recently.
That was it was inevitable. It was only a matter of time. Wilson struggled, and of course, the Giant. Any New York sports fans of any of their teams, they are the most critical, and they had already been calling for his head anyway. So now that puts a lot of pressure on Jackson Dart. We'll see if he rises to the occasion. I think he will.
So now let's look at Pat's poll, the definitive rankings of NFL teams, week 3. So we will look at our top 10 once again if you wish to see where your team is ranked. If you're not in the top 10, just go to our Two Guys Talking NFL Facebook page and take a look at it. Let us know what you think about the poll and where the teams are ranked, where Pat got it right, and where maybe you think teams should be ranked. So let's look at number 10 this week, coming off their win against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Washington Commanders at number 10 with a record of 2 wins, 1 loss.
I like Washington in the spot. It's going to be very interesting to see what is going to, going forward, what's going to happen with Jaden Daniels and with this injury.
Yeah.
But they deserve to be in the spot right now. They do.
They earned it last year, and they're holding up their end of the bargain so far. LA Rams are in at number 9. They fall a few spots after their debacle in Philly. They, as we said, they had that game won, and you still got to love Sean McVay, what they're doing. Jared Verse on defense.
Yes.
A monster in his second year out of Florida State University. Roll Knowles. Okay, let's look at number 8 this week. The San Francisco 49ers are 3-0. They've found a way back after that horrendous season last year.
They deserve to be there.
That's it. Kyle Shanahan is doing great work with them. And by the way, I don't know if you remember or not, but Pat picked the San Francisco 49ers to be a wild card team in the playoffs. Did John do that?
I don't think I did.
Oh, well, maybe we'll revisit those next week.
Maybe so.
But you don't have to have the Niners. I'm just okay.
That would be a good idea.
The Baltimore Ravens fall a few spots this week from number 4 down to number 7. A record of 1-2, which is worse than most of the top 20 teams in the NFL.
But they have lost to 2 very good teams, so that's understandable.
They have. Yes, they have. And they beat the Browns, which they should have.
Yes.
All right. The Green Bay Packers fall a bit, speaking of the Cleveland Browns, after their loss in Seatown. The Packers down to number 6. They were number 2 last week. And impressing. I mean, I had them anointed going to the Super Bowl.
Yes, I did too.
But they came back to earth a little bit. They're still 2-1 in good shape.
They're going to be fine.
All right. Jordan Love is good, and they should be just fine. Matt LaFleur is an outstanding head coach. Up to number 5 from number 9 this week are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They wore their Bucko Bruce uniform. He was on the helmet this week.
He was on the helmet. He was. I thought about you when I saw that.
Both the Bucks and the Patriots wore their throwback uniforms. And Pat the Patriot was on the New England helmets. They lost.
They lost.
But I think the GMs and the people who decided here, I think they were listening to our podcast last week. We noted how wonderful those logos were. and they wore them. Congratulations for them.
They should slide up some money. So.
You're in the in crowd if you're listening to two guys talking NFL.
Yes, you are.
The Detroit Lions in at number 4, up from 7. They seem to have righted the ship. 2-1 record. The LA Chargers in at number 3, the highest they've been ranked in, who knows, in the history of Pat's poll. Just likely the highest. But they are 3-0, up from number 5 last week. Comments on the Chargers?
I like the Chargers. I do. I think they're going to take the AFC West this year.
Well, yeah, they've beaten every team in the division already. Yes. They're 3-0 in the division. And Colin Cowherd, who hosts The Herd on Fox Sports, has anointed Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert as the best coach-quarterback combo, and he all further went to say that Jim Harbaugh is the best coach of all time.
I don't know about that. Okay, on to the next.
Well, okay, on to the next. The Philadelphia Eagles are number 2, and they are a record of 3-0, up from number 3, and the Buffalo Bills are at the top of Pat's poll once again. They just took care of the Dolphins last week on Thursday night, and it was a close game for a while, but Miami couldn't hang with them at the end. Yeah. That's the top 10 in Pat's poll, the definitive ranking of NFL teams. And next, what are the best NFL stadiums? We'll have the definitive 10 stadiums in the NFL for you coming up.
You don't want to miss it, y'all.
Oh, these are great. These pictures.
Yes, they are. And welcome back. It's our Week 3 edition of Two Guys Talking NFL. I'm Dr. John Lesaine, and I'm with my homie,
Pat Galliano, also known as Pro G.
That's right, and I'm Smooth Dr. J.
So last week, we talked about the best logos. And this week, we are talking about the best NFL stadiums. And this was a fun exercise to pick these out. And when you see these images and what we say about the stadiums, we hope that you will comment on them. What are your favorite NFL stadiums? We're going to start with Pat's number 5, then we'll go to John's 5 and back and forth.
Sounds good.
Let's do that. So, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, 45 minutes from Dallas. Jerry's World is my number 5. This stadium, 2 retractable roofs. And there was a neat story I found when I was researching this. In 1971, when they built the old Texas Stadium, It was supposed to have a retractable roof, but it just had a hole.
Yeah.
So this one they put them on. It's one of the largest stadiums, and the key stat I love about this, it has the world's largest HD quality video board. It goes from 20-yard line to 20-yard line when you're looking at it. You can get outstanding images up there. So yes, lots of wonderful events in here. And so, So that's my number 5. It's AT&T Stadium in Texas.
My number 5 is Arrowhead Stadium, or GHEA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, home of the Chiefs. I mean, just got to think about it. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but just the aura, the noise level, and everything. Who wouldn't want to go to Arrowhead Stadium?
It's good. It's good. Number 4 for Pat, Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I really wanted to see it as the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, which is a great line. But Luke Collins Photography, I found a great print from of this that you're seeing on the screen right now. And Lambeau Field, one of the unique qualities about it, it's located in a residential neighborhood.
Which is very
They call it Titletown District in Green Bay. And it's so unique. Residents often rent out their properties for game day for people to park. And Lambeau Field is the oldest continuous the oldest stadium with an NFL team in continuous residence.
My number 4 is MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, home of the Jets and the Giants. It's an amazing facility. It hosted the Super Bowl a few years ago. I just love the sleek look of it. If you look at the picture, as you see right here, it's just an amazing facility. It's an amazing facility.
It's good. Number 3 for Pat. If you want to have fun at a football game, you'll go to Jacksonville for Everbank Stadium. And yes, this is actually an NFL game. Look at those happy people having fun at a football game. None of them are watching the game, have you noticed?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be either. Okay, but you've got Everbank Stadium here. So these cabanas they rent out cost $12,500 each, which includes 50 tickets and pool access. They have 20 of them at the game. They're making a haul on those. Wonderful stuff. Jacksonville's stadium has 2 pools in the north end zone, and this is a premium seating option.
Wow, that's special.
And premium view as well from the pool.
Absolutely.
In the pool.
Yes.
Oh, both. Okay, go ahead.
My number 3 is State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, home of the Arizona Cardinals. This is such a unique stadium, mainly because they're actually able to roll the turf out. They can roll the grass out, put it out in the Arizona sun, and then roll it back in. What an amazing, amazing, amazing facility, especially that red zone in the end zone.
They've had some Super Bowls there. They've had some college championships there.
Yep.
Good stadium, yes. Pat's number 2, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Opened in 2020 with the Raiders relocation, and it's, of course, adjacent to the world-famous Las Vegas Strip. It's located on Al Davis Way. The other team's quarterback must go down. Okay, this stadium has 2,300 plus TVs in the stadium, 44 escalators. There are 425 trees planted. It's nicknamed the Death Star because that's where opponents' dreams come to die, said Mark Davis. But the stat I love the most, there are 257 miles of concrete in this stadium. And that's the distance from Las Vegas to LA.
Wow, that's amazing. My number 2 would go to the Northeast in Gillette Stadium, the home of the New England Patriots in Foxborough, Massachusetts. What an amazing, amazing, amazing facility. And the one thing that I love about this facility is the fact that they pay homage to the Northeastern vibe of things, where they have this gigantic 22-story lighthouse that is an observation place where people can go up and look around the stadium and look around other surrounding areas. So it is a very, very, very nice facility.
Did not know that. That's impressive.
Yes.
Like the pools in Jacksonville.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And the number 1 stadium, I don't know what you have as number 1, but this is the number 1 stadium. It's SoFi Stadium. It's so cool, LA. So cool that the roof and walls are designed to allow ocean breezes to flow through. Stan Kroenke's baby cost $6 billion and opened in September 2020. And lots of stuff. NFL games. Fluffy, Iglesias, and Joe Coy are going to be there. Ed Sheeran's going to be there in 2026. Number 1 stadium, SoFi in LA. Just look at this gorgeous piece of art.
Well, Pat, yours is nice, but my number 1 I think is even nicer. And that's U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota, home of the Minnesota Vikings. What an amazing facility. What I love what they've done with this thing is the lighting. They get a lot of natural lighting in there where it makes it look like you're actually outside. And if you're in Minneapolis and you're coming down the light rail, the view of it is just amazing.
Yeah, it's got those translucent panels
Yes.
on the top.
Yes.
Very exciting. Good. Yes. Well, thanks so much. Yeah, that was fun. So when we come back, we're going to preview week 4, huh?
I can't wait. Let's talk about it.
Terrific. That Minnesota Stadium, I like the Coming back to Two Guys Talking NFL on our Week 3 broadcast.
Yes,
And
sir.
You know, those stadiums, those pictures, they're wonderful places. SoFi, I forgot to say this. It's a sexy stadium. That's all I have
It's
to say
beautiful.
about it.
I
Yes.
can't lie, but Allegiant is amazing. So yes.
Allegiant is amazing.
Yes.
Love the alliteration.
Yes.
Week 4 games coming up. Football is just amazing. We have our first international game this week.
Ooh, we're
In
gonna
Dublin.
right? Ooh.
It's a home game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're facing the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota's been up and down this year. They lost to Atlanta
Yes.
at home, which they probably shouldn't have. Then they really bounced back against Cincinnati last week. They're currently ranked 13th in Pat's poll. Pittsburgh's a little below them, who are 2-1. They're ranked 15th. Good game. What do you see in this one?
I see the Vikings actually taking this one. I see the Vikings beating the Steelers in Ireland. I do.
Aaron Rodgers is pretty familiar with the Vikings, although it's been a few years since he played over in that division.
Absolutely.
But he's played Minnesota a lot.
Yes.
So we'll see. Yeah, I think I might. I think I'm going with Minnesota at this one. Minnesota's spending a couple of weeks over there as they play the Browns the next week in Europe. Yeah, so they're just hanging out in Europe.
Why not?
I wish I was on the Vikings. Okay, next, Seattle at Arizona, our Thursday night game. This is intriguing because every team in the NFC West is above 500.
Yes.
And they're all very close to being, I mean, there's only 4 teams, but this could be for the top of the division if San Francisco loses this week.
Agreed.
So they're both 2-1. Seattle at Arizona, good game. Who do you see winning this one? Seattle at Arizona Thursday night.
I have to go with the Seahawks. I have to go with Seattle actually winning this game.
Arizona's rated a little below them at 19. Seattle's 14, but Pat is picking Arizona to win this game at
Defending
home on
home field.
Thursday night.
I
Yes,
got you.
in that famous stadium that you like so much.
Yes, State Farm Stadium in
There you
Glendale,
go.
Arizona.
Third game to preview is possibly our game of the week. Philadelphia undefeated 3-0 traveling down to Florida to play the Tampa Bay Cardiac Bucks, who win every game at the end, it seems like. Tampa Bay's 3-0. Philadelphia's 3-0. What do you see in this one?
What I see is somebody's going to get their first loss after this
Well,
week.
unless they tie.
Absolutely. Unless they're tied.
All right, let's look at this from the coaching standpoint. You like Nick Sirianni or do you like Todd Bowles better as a coach?
Actually, they both have their strengths and their weaknesses. And Sirianni, I think, honestly, in my opinion, is a better coach.
Well, he's won the Super Bowl.
He has won the Super Bowl.
You know,
But I am picking the Buccaneers to beat the Eagles.
at home.
Yes, at home.
Go Bucks! Bruce Bucco made his
Yes.
appearance last week, and
Yes.
that magic is going to stay with.
I think
Not
they
the
get
0-17 magic from when they used to wear those uniforms. That was John McKay's famous quote. Remember that? When he was
Yeah, I
coaching?
remember that, yes.
They were 0-14. They only played 14 games back then. So what do you think of your team's execution? Remember what John McKay said?
No, what do you say?
I'm all for it.
Yeah,
What a great, that's a timeless quote. Another great game on the docket this coming week. Indianapolis Colts at the Los Angeles Rams.
the Rams bounce back in a big way.
Oh.
They have a lot of pent-up emotion,
Mm.
and I think they are going to end the Colts' undefeated run.
Indiana Jones might be falling on the ground a lot against that defense,
Absolutely,
yes?
yes.
And Matthew Stafford, he's holding up. There were some questions about his health when the season started. He looks like he's playing just fine.
Yeah.
He is an older guy now, 37, I think, and been in the league. He's got some gray in his beard.
Absolutely.
But,
He's got some miles on that body.
You know who the backup is for Stafford? Do you know who that is?
No, who is
It's Jimmy Garoppolo on the
Ooh.
Rams now. Yeah, so if
Ooh.
Stafford goes down, we're going to see Garoppolo. Okay, then we've got Baltimore at Kansas City. Okay, so this game, when you saw the schedule, you said, oh, that's going to be a game of the week.
Yeah.
This could decide home field. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, these
Both teams at 1 and 2 right
yeah,
now.
both teams are at 1 and 2. I still think, though, that it's going to be a very good game. I think it's a very big game. I'm going to go with Baltimore beating Kansas City in Arrowhead.
I think you're right. I think Kansas City is not who they used to be.
They're not at all.
They're just looking off in every phase of the game, and another loss at home, possibly. One of these teams is going to be 1-3 after this week. That's
Who would have
unfathomable.
thought it? Nobody would have
Patrick
imagined
Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, one of their teams is, wow.
that. Yeah.
Wow. Looking at it, we have 2 Monday night games on the schedule. We have New York Jets at Miami on ABC and ESPN, but you know what? I heard this game might be flexed. I heard it might be flexed to Comedy Central.
I mean, it probably will because it's the pillow fight of the week is what it is.
They're both jokes. Okay, the other game, Cincinnati at Denver, Monday Night Football game number 2. Again, Cincinnati without our
Joe
guy
Burrow,
Joe,
yeah.
our cool Joe Burrow. They are not the same. And Denver's they've got that pent-up anger for losing the last 2 games. I think
Absolutely.
Denver's going to whoop them.
I think so.
Then we have Green Bay at Dallas on Sunday Night Football. You talked about Baker Mayfield and his revenge game. Well, now we have another person going back where they used to play.
Yes, and he is going to wreak havoc.
Michael
in a-
Parsons, as Jerry Jones would say. Huh?
Yes,
Michael.
Michael is
But
going to
his
wreak
name
havoc.
is Micah.
He's going to wreak havoc at AT&T Stadium. He definitely will.
So, Green Bay at Dallas. Does Dallas have a chance in this one?
Nope. Nope.
Dallas's defense is just not that good. So we've had 3 games with Russell Wilson at quarterback for the Giants, and Dallas made him look like an all-star from years ago.
They really
And the
are.
other 2 games he's looked awful, and now he's being benched. It's Dallas's defense. They're in trouble. I don't see them being able to beat Green Bay, especially after they lost. So that's our show for today, folks. Look for us on Facebook, 2 Guys Talking NFL. Watch our podcast. New link drops every Wednesday at 1 p.m. And we have new podcasts each week on Newberry College YouTube. Thanks to our audio engineer and today filling in as director, Zach, and for the Newberry College Communications Program for sponsoring our show. That's it. Smooth Dr. J.
Pro G.
Have a great weekend.
Yes, sir. See you next week.
Watch some football.
Yes.